Hi, Dayita and Manisha.
So
Good that we are going to speak to both of you. Congratulations once again.
thank you so much.
Manisha for getting All India rank 1. And Dayita, you need to smile a bit because you got All India 9. People with All India 9 have to smile a lot more. You don't need to be serious, right? So you need to be looking, smiling like All India number 9. So Dayita got All India rank 9. Manisha and Dayita, both of you are star performers, and therefore welcome to both of you. Now, for rest of the audience, I must say that both these girls are extremely young and they're not even finished their graduation still. Both of them are into the graduation. And I was surprised to know a few minutes back that Manisha is yet to complete her 20, or she just completed 20, just about 20. And Daita also is taking graduation this time, and she's just 21. So both of the girls are very young, and therefore long way to go, but they still have shown which way are they proceeding. So I hope both of them continue to proceed exactly the way that they started for themselves, which means more and more laurels, more and more achievements across as you go. Now, the intent of today's video, Manisha and Daita, which I call the feel of the air, and I spell AIR as AIR, all India rank. The feel of the air. So, how is the air feeling? And let me just ask you few questions first. Daita, let me start with you. Daita, as far as I know, and I know it for sure that getting a rank is not new for you. You got it at the executive level as well. I'm hoping you're getting a rank at graduation as well. So it's a way of life, it seems for you. But tell me something. When you got, now that you are passed out all examinations, does it seem to you that life has changed for you? Does it seem people's perception about you, how people see you, how people, I mean, how you feel about people and how people feel about you, has it changed suddenly?
Well, I still have 1 year of my training left, and even after I finish my training, I will still have about 50 or so years further to learn, as I believe there is learning in
How much
everything we
50
do.
years?
I think I live for another 50 years at least. So 50 more
Acha,
years of learning.
you're targeting 71 years, targeting to die at 70, 71. That's not a very good age to die. Okay, good.
So
So you got 50 years more of learning. Hmm.
yes, so I believe that there is learning in everything we do, be it academics or the work we are doing or anything for that matter. But having said that, I guess once you become a qualified CS, life will change for you in the sense that people will start suddenly expecting more from you, that everything you do is perfect and there is absolutely no scope for mistakes there. However, perfection is something I always aimed at, irrespective of the fact of
Hmm.
whether people expected the same from me or not. I mean, I may not always be perfect, and I might have made a lot of mistakes, and I will make a lot of mistakes in future as well. But they were and will never be because I was slacking or because I was not working as hard as I should have. Further, I would like to say that getting a rank was something that was a result of my hard work, but it should never be something that becomes my identity. I do not want to be identified based on my rank, but because of my work and as who I am as a person. After all, one cannot leverage one's rank or good academics or any other short term achievements for all my life, right? So, yeah.
That's a beautiful point. That's a beautiful point that you're making, and I'll turn this point to Manisha as well. But let me just first of all share with both of you that I also got rank, not in CS, of course, because CS I did in two
Hmm.
tranches. CA I got an All India rank. I wasn't All India one, I must not say. I was All India one, but I got a rank and it was decent enough. And I'll tell you how life changes suddenly. And Daita, that's what I was trying to ask you. That till yesterday it was Daita, just a Daita. And now that it's Daita, just about to be a qualified company secretary. So once you get a recognition as a professional, how life suddenly changes. I'll share my perception. When I passed out, it wasn't like online results. Results used to be published in newspapers. So exactly on the 14th of January, 1984, 40 years back, more than 40 years back, The CA results are out on the 14th of January. It always used to be that way. So 14th of January was the scheduled date for publication of results. I had appeared in all the three groups of CF. It was three groups then. And on those days, we used to, the only way to find results before the papers are delivered by the hawkers next day morning was to go to newspapers' offices, stand outside there, find some good connect, some dada outside the gate, and then plead with dada, dada, kindly, our result text ber kar denna. So that's exactly what we did. We went to Economic Times because the results are published in Economic Times. We went to the gates of Economic Times on SN Banerjee Road, Calcutta, and we found one dada, and I think a lot of people were there. Not it wasn't me. There were some 20, 25 people who had gathered there. All of them gave roll numbers, including myself. The dada who was good enough went inside. So earlier the results used to publish like all three groups, one list, then 1 and 2 second list, 1 and 3 second, third, one. And so there were like different ways of publishing the results. So after some time, the dada came in and asked for my roll number, who is 18,554. I said, it's me. And then, oh, congratulations, you cleared all the three groups. That was like, as I said, life changed. Suddenly life changed. Because next morning, people who were around me perceived me as someone who has made an achievement. So, Daita, while you're right that you wouldn't want your identity to be measured, the identity to be related with a particular achievement, but life does change suddenly because people start perceiving it differently. Here is a person who's shown, proved capabilities, and therefore suddenly the identity becomes a little different. So that's what brings me to Manisha. Manisha, you are an All India first, and as Daita was mentioning that you are Manisha, you did your best in the examinations, you got All India 1. It could have well been possible that you may not have got either a rank, may not have succeeded also. You would still be. My question is, if you did your best and you did not get, let's say, forget about rank, you did not even clear the examinations, you are still the same Manisha Ghosh. So how is it that Manisha would still be Manisha with or without a rank?
I think I would still be the same Manisha. I don't believe my personality has changed after getting the Air One. I would just like to state that it is extremely overwhelming that I got, as the previous question, how it suddenly changes. It completely changed people's perception towards me. So this is the first time I've gotten a rank. I was not a rank holder in executive or in the first examination. So the people, the way they talk to me has changed as well. Normally, first it was just, oh, it's Manisha, it's our friend. Now they see me, or they've put me up at the stand where
ऐसे देखते हैं.
uh,
They ask you how is
that
the year
I
there.
know something more extraordinary than them. When I don't, I've only studied what was in the syllabus. I performed well, and that is why I got the rank. If I were not to get the rank, I would have felt a bit dejected, or I would have felt that it was unjust because I gave it my all and I did not get the rank,
But
or
ऐसा भी
I,
होता है मनीष, ऐसा भी होता है कि नहीं, that you did your best but you did not get what you
yes,
deserve.
hota
So
hi
there's
hai, sir.
quite often a
Like
gap between
completely
what you get and
possible.
what you deserve. और
Hmm.
ऐसा अगर हो, by the way, let's say the situation is like this, that you didn't get what you think you deserved, and let's say you
Hmm.
really deserved. In that case, how do you feel? Is it always that we get what we deserve?
No, it is not. You may dream of a perfect life, but it will never work out this as you have planned it. That is the way of life. You cannot change it. So if I
Hmm.
did not get the rank, or if I did not succeed, I would have felt dejected because I studied a lot. I gave it my all, but I would not let it drag me down. I would not let it stop me. I would still go on because there it's not that my life has stopped or ended here. I do still have chances. I have a long way ahead, and I should not just limit myself to this fact that I did not clear it first attempt, or I did not get a rank. There's further attempts, and I think there are a lot more people who did not succeed and they are way above me. They are way above in experience, way above in knowledge. It's just uh, my hard work and my luck worked, and I got the rank. So I would have felt
I'll pick up that point. Hard work and luck. I'll pick up that point. But go ahead. You would finish yourself.
I would have been dejected, but I would not have stopped at all.
So you're
It
making a
is
very
a
important point.
determination you should have.
You're making a very important point, Manisha, that with or without exactly getting what you deserved, and it's so quite often happens, and I think that's what I
Hmm.
kept on saying to Daita as well, because she was like, I'm determined to get a rank, and I told Dayita that let's not set the result as a target. Your
Hmm.
target is to do your best. That's all. The journey is yours. The destination is not yours. Because destination is where will destination lead to? That's not
Hmm.
entirely in your control, and that's quite often so that in examination there's always an imponderable. You never know who your examiner is. You never know how and what kind of a mood he is. And I'll come to the next question as well. So there is always a question of what you call hard work versus the so-called luck factor. Luck factor. Now, while one may or may not believe in the luck factor, but imponderables quite often happen because between effort and accomplishment, it's not always an equation. It might quite often become an inequality.
Yes.
You might quite often people might get far more than they deserve, and very often people may not get what they deserve. So in situations where there is an inequality between your endeavor and your accomplishment, how would you did say that you would probably look up as I mean you because there's quite a lot in life to achieve, and this is not the last chance. There's probably many other chances to prove your merit. So is that something that continues to drive you? That even if, for example, it's all India rank is only one, and there are
Hmm.
many others who would either be on the rank list and many others who wouldn't be on the rank list. But there's nothing for them to feel bad about it because this is not the last chance in life, and you get
Yes.
plenty of chances to. Manisha, is that what you would feel as well?
Yes, I feel that this is one part of life. It's not the entire point of life. So just to limit yourself to this fact that I did not get a rank or I couldn't clear this examination is not something you should do. There is a
Hmm.
lot to life. There are so many things to learn. I do have plans ahead as well. I want to pursue law for knowledge. I want to know how the entire law works. So even if I did not get rank, or it would still drive me that it would still drive me ahead because it's not
Hmm.
my ultimate point to just get a rank. My ultimate point is to know the entire concept of law.
Hmm. Hmm. Very good.
So
Daita.
driving
Sorry.
is, of
Hmm.
course,
Good.
there
Good.
always.
Right. So what you're basically saying that it's up to us to continue to work.
Yes.
Karmanyevadikar aste. The effort, what is in your hand is the effort. The fall or the result is not in your
Hmm.
controls, and we are not.
Result
So
is not with us.
karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana.
Hmm.
That's the philosophy that I think Gita has driven people for thousands of years, and I'm sure everyone should be driven by the same
Hmm.
philosophy. Daita, turning to you, and Manisha just made a point that she would like to do law to get further knowledge. Now, Daita, for you, when you take your exams, what's more important, knowledge or the exam-oriented approach? Quite often,
Starting.
exam-oriented approach is a formula-driven approach. The following, good. Yeah, study for knowledge or study for the examinations.
So, studying solely for exams could fetch very high scores. However, it will not be very viable in the long run. Whereas studying for knowledge will inculcate a greater understanding of the subjects, and accordingly, that is what we should aim for our long-term goals. However, having said that, to study for exams is a bit different in the sense that it is generally expected out of us to write the answers directly from our study materials to get more marks. Like, for example, if the study material gives us, say, five particular advantages of a particular thing, then we are expected to write those five particular points only, thus leaving hardly any scope for research or interpretation or creativity for that matter. So I think students should get their concepts clear, and then maybe they can focus on certain heads, subheads, certain keywords, so that they do study for knowledge, but at the same time they can score very high scores as well. So yeah, that's
Hmm.
what I did.
Hmm. And I'm not sure whether Manisha and Data, whether you've been through one of my articles, long time back, I wrote an article, How to Do Better in CS Examinations. I covered this point. I said, number one, I'm not studying for the exams. I'm studying for knowledge. My objective in life is not examinations. Examination is a measuring yard. It measures my performance. And that's not my journey. My journey is knowledge. So number one, I would surely recommend everyone to study for knowledge, not examinations. There's a lot of difference. Because the moment you study for examinations and the teacher tells you that ignore chapter 1 and 2 because that's not relevant, that doesn't come in examination, go for chapter 3 and then skip 5, 6, 7, go to 8 because that's very common. Last year this question was asked, this question is not likely, therefore ignore 10, etc. So this teacher, typically a tutorial teacher, would exactly give you a pudiya. He'll give you kind of a formula which is meant for success in the examination. That success in examination is of no relevance when it comes to life. And every student must remember that my examination is not this exam. My examination is the life. The life that ensues the moment you become a CS. That's where your life starts. That's where exam actually starts. And that's an examination that tests you, that sort of puts you to an ordeal every day. And that's where your knowledge, your perception, your clarity on things, that's what matters. So those people who pursue an exactly what you call exam oriented approach, they become sort of incomplete in their career because they would have probably prepared for the exam. And in the moment, life doesn't ask you exam questions. Life doesn't ask you with syllabus, from syllabus, out of syllabus. Life asks you a lot of questions out of syllabus as well. Life asks you questions from everywhere. So that's exactly where your knowledge matters. And Daita made a very valid point also that, however, while we study for the examinations, but when I'm in the examination room, I'm writing for the examiner. I understand that I'm writing for the examiner, and there are a lot of things that I need to know. I know that the examiner doesn't have time. He wouldn't read what I'm writing. He would at the most glance through and see. He doesn't read, he sees your answer script. And when he sees his answer script, he tries to broadly see that is my answer by and large matching with the suggested answer the institute might have given. If my answers are very different, I wrote a completely imaginative, creative stuff, he'd probably say, kya banda kya likh raha hai? He's writing rubbish. Because he wouldn't have read. He wouldn't care to read, right? And therefore, you need to understand that here you are posing for the camera, you're posing for the examiner. You might know a lot, but write for the examiner, that is right for something that he is expecting to write. At the same time, you need to stand out of the crowd also. You need to be Manisha, you need to be Dayita, not the rest of his examinees. Therefore, you need to make the examiner feel that while you know the stuff, but you know a little better. That would mean create that feeling of being little different by giving him hints that you are knowing not only what the institute has recommended. Therefore, there's nothing wrong in writing the sixth advantage data. But I shouldn't skip those 5 because those 5 anyway he matches tick 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 tick. Are they matching? Yes, it does. But then you write numbers 7 and 8. He says, "Oh wow, Dayita is writing a bit more than what the institute has recommended." That's where you get little edge over the others. So it's while you're studying for the examination, but you are preparing the exam for the examiner. That's what I would say. But both of you, I must ask. I think Manisha already answered that question, but Dayita, let me ask you. And Dayita, you're still looking serious. I'm not sure why.
But I think the video has freezed.
My video is frozen.
No, her video has freezed.
It's very seriously frozen, I think.
Is it okay now?
Not really. Dayita, are you not sure where it's sitting, but हाँ वो एकदम बहुत सीरियस पोज में फ्रीज हो गया था. It's frozen very serious pose. अच्छा, let me ask this question to you as I asked to Manisha, and hard work versus luck. Do you think luck works or it doesn't? Do you think luck has a role?
I think luck without hard work is nothing. And again, just hard work without any luck.
Without luck.
Hard work without any luck will create difficulties. It will not make the path as easy as it should have been with luck. So along with hard work, one definitely needs what one definitely needs for CS exams is a bit of smart work as well. There is a need to analyze the past year papers, understand the scoring areas, and study accordingly. I do understand that we should study for knowledge, but again, if the ultimate goal is to study for knowledge as well as score very high marks, then smart work is what we need. And I don't think without doing smart work, just hard work will fetch very high marks for us in CS exams at least. Now coming back to the discussion of luck and hard work, I do believe that if you are hardworking and you have just the right amount of luck on your side, you will have the right support that will help you in life. Like for me, it was my seniors and sir, you for that matter. If they wouldn't have allowed me to attend regular college classes, and then I wouldn't have been able to do all three things, that is college, my CS exams, and my training simultaneously. So ultimately, just blaming or just praising one's luck is not fair, according to me.
Mm-hmm. But I would have said my bit on this. People talk about hard work versus luck.
Hmm.
What is it that is in my control? Is luck in my
Hard work.
control?
No, hard work is in your control. You can't control
So in
luck.
my control, I need to focus on what's in my control. अरे luck में मैं क्या करूंगा भाई? लक है तो है, नहीं है तो नहीं, मैं क्या कर सकता
Hmm.
हूँ उसमें? लक तो मेरे कंट्रोल में नहीं है. But what is absolutely 100% in my control is hard work.
Hmm.
So when that's something which is maneuverable, controllable on my side. I can probably talk about what is in my control. Luck is not my control. अच्छा लोग बोलते हैं कि अरे मैंने तो बहुत हार्ड वर्क किया लेकिन लक साथ नहीं दिया. This is
Hmm.
basically a, I would say, excuse of what do you call
Hmm.
an unsuccessful person, because hard work, yeah, and I'll talk about what is hard work as well. But ये जो again hard work versus luck, there is always, like I mentioned, inequality. You don't need to. Life doesn't give you an equality between hard work and results, and therefore there might be an inequality. Inequality का नाम हम लोग luck factor देते हैं, but
Hmm.
luck is not in my favor. For example, if I'm doing hard work, I'm doing right hard work. Luck is not in my favor, but मैंने तो hard work कर लिया. I'm
Hmm.
sure I would have gained something out of it. So that gain that I did, that goes nowhere. Examinations, no examinations, success, no success, but whatever I gained by my hard work is my property forever. Where will that property go? That's my permanent property. दूसरी बात क्या है कि when you talk about hard work, अब let's say I'm pushing the wall, that's hard work. Howsoever hard I push, the wall
Hmm.
wouldn't budge. So that kind of hard work has no meaning at all. Hard work means what? Organized hard work with the purpose, with a clear focus. I know where I'm going. I have a direction set in front of me. I know what is it that I need to move, and I need to move it in the right direction. Either if I lose sense of direction, or I try moving things which cannot move at all, my hard work has no meaning at all. So hard work in the right direction, of right kind, of right proportion, that always pays. Even if it doesn't pay in terms of results, it pays in terms of what you gain by hard work. So that's where I would like to view hard work versus luck. Let me come to
Oh, sorry.
go ahead, Manisha. Go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was saying your view reminds me of the quote that luck is nothing but where hard work meets opportunity. That is the
Absolutely,
entire concept of luck. So your view
absolutely,
reminds me of that quote.
absolutely. I'm going to ask questions which might sound personal to both of you, but I think these are questions which anyone would expect to ask an achiever. So, first question: how many hours a day did you study, Manisha?
I tried to study at least 7 to 8 hours, and then I set to myself a goal. So I need to complete so many chapters or so many concepts in a subject. Unless and until I'm done with that subject, I'm not done studying the day.
And Daita,
That was my
you
approach.
answered this question privately yesterday, but you would like to answer it publicly also. How many hours a
Well,
day?
I did majority of my studying while I was working here as well. So and attending regular college. So for me, my study hours began when everybody else was preparing to go to sleep. So I studied from 10 to 1:30 at night or 2 at night, and then I went off to sleep as I had to again wake up at 7 the next morning. So yes, I think I
Even I'm
needed.
a night studier. I can completely understand.
But it was not an option for me because I was working here and then I
Yeah.
had college, so it was not an option. And
Hmm.
I did survive on about 5 hours of sleep for about 8 months.
Perfectly. Perfectly all right. And I will talk about that as well. And if I hope one of you will ask me कि आप कितना घंटा पढ़ते थे, but because you didn't ask me, I'll anyways say close to exams, close to examinations, it was 16 hours a day.
Oh God.
And that's very clearly possible. कोई बोलता है कि I need 8 hours sleep, बकवास. I think 4.5 hours sleep is just enough. I'll talk about the next thing also. Okay, that's another thing which people very commonly ask during examinations. Manisha, did you eat a lot?
No, I did not. I actually quite lost my appetite during the examinations.
A lot of people say आइसक्रीम खाते हैं रात को पढ़ते हैं तो आइसक्रीम खाते हैं ये
No.
दूध पीते हैं. What about Daita? You did you eat a lot?
No, no, I actually stopped eating. Like when I had my executive level exams, I came back at around 6 in the evening and then I ate. And I actually fasted during my exam days. I had a complete
Actually,
fast.
भैया, that's what I was wanting to say actually, and I think I'm saying this for the benefit of everyone. कोई ये बोलता है कि for examinations that you need to eat a lot, otherwise you'll fall asleep. Absolute bakwas. Actually, and I say to myself also, when close to examination, about roughly about 3 months before the exam, I left my evening meal and I left milk also. Milk puts you to sleep.
Sleep, yeah,
Flex
milk
it.
makes you sleepy.
Milk makes you feel, and all the more ice cream. Ice cream एकदम ही I'm completely opposite. Though no question of eating good stuff, I mean nutrients in the night. Actually, I left evening meals, and that's what allowed me to sleep 4.5 hours. I was okay. I slept at 2, got up at 6:30, 6:37 ish. I got, and it was still energy. एक और something that I ask, and I think I need to say this to students. Some people have a habit वो 4 घंटा दिन में सोते हैं या रात को सोते हैं, 2 घंटा दिन में सोते हैं. Broken sleep, partly night, partly day. During examinations, is that what you follow or recommend, Manisha?
No, I recommend a sleep where you're
One
continuously
single sleep,
sleeping, and that's a good sleep at one stretch. This
one stretch.
broken sleep system doesn't make you rest well. It makes you restless even, and it doesn't allow you to study properly. So
Dayita,
instead
would you
of
say the same thing?
sleeping 2 hours, two
Same,
hours.
yes, yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Absolutely.
One single sleep. No point in, because
Hmm.
sleep twice, you're actually making yourself lazy. You sleep, you get less rest because both
Mhm.
sleeps are incomplete and
Hmm.
inadequate. Therefore, that's the another recommendation that we now are talking about. Now, with the little time that we have, Manisha and Dayita, I would ask you, both of you, Uh, examinations are over for both of you. Daita, I'm not giving to you any further leave for exams. You're not going to ask me any further leaves. Manisha, anyway, didn't ask for any. So my job of giving leaves is done. And the real examination, which is like I mentioned, life, that's staring in your face now. So how this accomplishment for both of you, how is this laying the foundation of the challenges that you have in front of you now? Manisha,
So
first you, and then
I think getting a rank for sure opened up a lot of opportunities. So I do have an edge over, I believe, everybody else. But in terms of what I know or the foundation that the syllabus has laid for me, I think it's not even 1% of what I'm about to face in life. The knowledge that is out there, I've just been working for a week, and the amount of knowledge I've gained and what and where you're supposed to look is completely different from what I've learned in theory. So I am ready to face challenges, but I don't think I've done learning yet.
Data, for you, it's going to be different because you've been with us for almost a year now,
Yes, yes.
and therefore, I think the learning that you have in office versus the learning in college or the institute, I'm sure you're able to relate the difference between the two.
Correct. And for me, I did not actually opt for any classes. I did like complete self-study. So whenever I had questions, like for example, if I'm studying a subject like insolvency, so there are times when I came to office and I approached my colleagues and I approached my seniors and I asked them insolvency questions because I did not have any other teacher or guidance for that matter to clear my doubts. And I am a person who asks a lot of questions. So it was difficult for me to not have anyone to answer those questions. And having said that, I think that once you achieve something, the benchmark, you should raise your own benchmarks. Like, for example, if earlier my goal was to excel at academics, my goal now should be to excel at work because to some extent I was not focusing so much on my work in the last year because of my academic, because of the studying I had to do. So now it's that, and again, getting a rank will probably open one or two doors for me, but keeping that door open is up to me entirely.
Absolutely. And Data, you mentioned that you ask a lot of questions, right? Everyone in office knows that the moment you see us, you'll probably ask a question. You have a lot of questions to ask, but let me also assure you, and I think with both of you, I'm saying this to the world at large, that the first step of knowledge is an inquiry. Question is the first step. That's where the journey starts. Question. If you don't have a question, how would you gain knowledge? I'm surprised that people they don't know, but they don't ask. They're
Hmm.
unaware, still they remain unquestioned. I mean, they remain without a question. How would you ever remove your ignorance? How would you ever learn if you don't ask? So that's the first step. And to my mind, and Daita, you're right in saying that if I have a question about insolvency, I'll probably spend 6 hours Googling. I'll probably spend 30 seconds to talk to a person who
Hmm.
knows it better than you. And that's the easiest way to learn and grow. So with this, girls, thanks both of you. You are our wonderful assets, and we hope to make the best out of you. We hope we would be able to provide you the best environment to shine even further. And with this, all the very best to both of you. And for everyone, thank you for listening. I hope this conversation would have some meaning for each one of you. Thanks, Etan.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.